All right. So my cognitive topic was the framing effect, and in a framing bias, there are many framing biases all around us in the real world when people are presenting things. Usually, I mean, when it comes to signs that say, "Oh, like free, this is free," like obviously it's not free. There's a catch to it, but that's a framing bias. Or like when you're on the computer, like there are some things that are highlighted certain colors on like on Google or whatever search website you use. Like there's things that are colored certain ways and put in certain position that catches your eyes. Um, Another thing too is like logos. Like people love Nike. Like oh, like Nike's like a super like cool brand, but like if you really think about it, like it's just cloth just woven together that has a brand. The brand what makes it nice because it's like simple, which is weird, but it's cool though. Like people are like, oh, like a Nike's a good brand to have, but I mean it's the same thing as like the off-brand thing. So that's basically how to describe the framing effect. In an article that I read, they say that like a lot of like doctors and like what would say like practitioners kind of like are subdued and also portray like a framing effect as well, like when it comes to things that are like when they describe prescriptions or medicine or some certain things, like they're giving it like, oh, like these are the only options that you have because they want to make this certain amount of money or they need clients in a way. So that could be like a form of framing effect that they do as well, because there it is known that there are like remedies that don't require like all these procedures that cost a lot of money, but as a doctor you want to make money and have clients, so that would make sense. Another popular but known bias that I read in an article as well is the media. The media, I would say right now, number one for using the framing effect in every possible way. I would say right now the line of CNN and Fox are probably the biggest networks. They are the biggest at using the framing effect. They even their network, they have color choices, like CNN has red and blue, like to symbolize Republicans and Democrats. And then the way they portray the news and like the ordering of how they tell the news as well, like they tell like tragic stuff and then they try to like ignite like an emotion feel, and then they'll bring you to something more political that suits their agenda so that you can like be persuaded in that way. When your emotions are all riled up, they want you to focus on this one topic that they believe that's like the most important in the whole day. Like they're basically their schedule of networking, which is weird, but that's the strategy and way to catch people's eyes, because explaining a bunch of words that are scientific and very critique, like it's very like people are gonna change the channel. Like they're gonna like hit you with pictures of people like, oh, like crime scenes. They're gonna hit you with pictures of like helicopter shoots of like people doing crazy shit. So I mean that's the best way I can describe the framing effect. There are other ways, but those are the best ways of describing the framing effect.